Yo, right now you listening to The Cart, charisma, athleticism, and raw talent. And what you're really listening to is total nonstop impact. Don't you dare miss a lesson. Oh yeah!
2018 Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame inductee is none other than, drum roll, Trent.
Drum roll. I'm doing it here. Drum roll's coming up.
The Monster Abyss.
There we go. Abyss.
Come on.
Woo!
Come on.
All right.
Round of applause. The Monster Abyss. You know what, Trent? Nobody is more deserving currently than the Monster Abyss. Do you agree or disagree with that?
100% agree, man. I've been a fan of this guy since the first time I laid eyes on him. Dude, who else would you put in? Honestly, it's like a no-brainer. You have to go Abyss.
Have to. Day one guy.
Do you also induct Joseph Park at the same time? Does Joe Park get to go in at the same time?
Are you trying to tell me that they're the same person or something?
There was a theory floated out there. Unconfirmed rumors, unconfirmed fake news.
Well, you need to stop reading the dirt sheets, Trent. The Abyss, the Monster Abyss is going into the Hall of Fame. I can't think of anybody more deserving, Trent. And I say that because last night when the announcement came out on the Impact TV show, everybody on Twitter was going crazy. Twitter went on fire. So many people reached out to Abyss. I saw like people from even WWE, like that side of things. People you wouldn't expect. The guy is a total veteran. He deserves it. He seems really loved behind the scenes. I've never seen anybody go on like a shoot interview over the years and been like, Abyss is a dick. Never heard that.
Have you ever met him?
Never got to meet him. I know you have through you work over at AAW and just you going to Impact shows. You have met him before, haven't you?
Oh yeah, dude. The guy he's incredible. He's the greatest guy. Like, he's the nicest man. I think there's the two nicest people I've ever met in wrestling are Abyss and Jerry Lynn. So hopefully Jerry Lynn's next year's Hall of Fame. But dude, these two guys are incredible people. But yeah, but Abyss, yeah, top dog, man. This guy is a great person and such a great asset to Impact. He's been such a legend since day one. He was on the first show.
That's the thing. He's a day one guy. And what I was trying to say before is, last night, I saw all these people on Twitter kind of saying, he's not the most deserving. People were saying, like, AJ Styles, somebody like that would be more deserving. I totally fucking disagree with that, Trent. And the reason being, Abyss is a day one guy. Yeah, AJ Styles is a day one guy, but and nothing against AJ Styles. He left the company. He went on to other things. He got the big WWE opportunity where he is now on top of the wrestling world. That's awesome. I'm happy for him. But... yeah. Abyss had the opportunity to go work The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's not speculation anymore. It's been confirmed. Numerous sources. You've heard it come out of Abyss's mouth. Jim Ross podcast. He talked about it on there. Yeah, for example.
JR did too, yeah.
Absolutely. So he had the opportunity to go, but he didn't. He stayed loyal and true to Impact because he loves the company and he believes in it. He's a day one guy. He's been there since day one. Another cool thing about Abyss, Trent, that you need to talk about, when you talk about Abyss, you have to always mention the guy has always reinvented himself throughout the years. He's always changed. If you see an Abyss match or a picture of Abyss, you know exactly what year and time period it's from.
Yes,
because his costume, his mask, his character. I was joking before. I know the Joseph Park thing. Come on. He's always reinvented himself, and dude, you gotta give the guy his props, man. And he's like one of those people that, because he's an Impact and not WWE, he hasn't really just got his fair share of respect and props. He's gotten his props, and we got to give Abyss his props. And what better way than give Abyss the Hall of Fame honor? And you know what else, Trent? You know what else? You know what's even better?
What's that?
We're going to be there. Woo-hoo! The event, Trent, it's going to be Saturday night, the night right before Bound for Glory. Pretty cool. It's in Midtown Manhattan at this bar called McHale's Pub. So that's going to be Saturday, October 13th, 2018. Tickets are on sale, just $25. And what's convenient about this is I've been to this bar before. I know where it is.
Yeah.
If you're coming through Penn Station, it's on the same block as Penn Station. Like, you don't have to make any turns. It's a far walk. It's about a 25-minute walk, but it's one straight direction. Like, it's so
beautiful.
easy. You just pull it up on your GPS, on your phone, whatever you do, whatever your gimmick is, your travel gimmick, and it's a quick and easy. But yeah, we're gonna be there. Total Nonstop Impact, Kyle and Trent, and you're bringing the lady with you as well, right? You're gonna be traveling with her.
She'll be there, man. She'll be there. So definitely hope she wants to join because I haven't told her about it yet. But I'm gonna tell her about it tonight. Pony up another $25 if we have to go see Abyss get thrown into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and luckily, all tickets are just general admission for $25, Trent. So I can't sit in the front row and leave you in the back. We got to sit together. You're gonna have to deal with me.
Unlike what's gonna happen the next night. But hey, we'll get to that again.
But yeah, so dude, the Monster Abyss. Nobody is more deserving than this guy. In the years where, well, in the mainstream at least, not the indies, but on the mainstream when hardcore wrestling kind of died out, when ECW died and WWE got rid of the hardcore title, and I think it's kind of changed. You didn't see as much hardcore wrestling on TV. Man, Abyss's entire Impact career, even now to this day, at least once or twice a year, Abyss gives you an insane, crazy hardcore match. Abyss kept hardcore wrestling alive in the mainstream.
I feel like he did. Dude, you look at some of the ones he did back in the day with Sabu and the barbed wire massacres and like oh man, there's a DVD, the Bloodiest Brawls one that they put out years back, and he's all over it, man. What this guy put himself through is wicked. This is a family man, for God's sake, but he was he put his heart into it, man. But you brought up a good point about like you can look at any of Abyss clip, and especially that little retrospective they put out last night, that little video to induct him. There was all these different clips of all the different eras of Abyss, and you could essentially watch it and be like, oh, that's 07.
Exactly.
That's 05.
Because he always reinvented himself.
Yeah. I got to say, there was one tweet that really caught my eye, and I thought, I'm not going to lie, Cal, I'm not going to lie to you. It made me a little emotional as a day one.
Trent, did you shed some Mark Man tears? Some Marky Man tears? I think you did.
I'm not going to lie.
Someone's cutting onions.
I had the quibble, the throat quibble that was, that was about to be a tear. And Eddie Kingston, of all people, Eddie Kingston makes a tweet about the induction, and he says, "You are our taker. Nobody eats before Abby does." And I was like, wow, that really puts it in perspective. He really is like the Undertaker's level of respect and veteran for the Impact locker room.
And you can say that for the Impact locker room and the Impact fans. As growing up as a TNA fan, and then as I got older and, Impact became Impact, he was always our Undertaker and our show, our product that we liked. He was the big, bad, evil monster guy. Like, he was always our taker. So you could say that for the locker room. He's the veteran guy back there. And to the fans, he was just like our taker. But he's Abyss. I hate that. I hate when people call him, like, he's always been put in a box where people are like, oh, he's a mix of Undertaker and Mankind. Yeah, you could say that. He's obviously, those are the characters that inspired him, but he's always been his own thing. He's always done his own thing. And like we said 3 times so far, he has always reinvented himself. And to me, that is why Abyss is a legend. He's an A-plus player. He's a day one guy. He stayed loyal to the company when he had the opportunity to be. A lot of people would call him a moron, Trent. You realize that? A lot of people would call him an idiot for not going to the WWE. The biggest company in the world, to wrestle. They say Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's what honor is higher than that? But he believed in Impact Wrestling at a time when it just meant so much to us as fans to hear that. It felt good. Because let's face it, Trent, as an Impact Wrestling fan, if you're a diehard Impact fan like us, you're dedicated to the Impact product. Man, we've gone through some shit over the years. We've gone through some hard times. More than we should have. Yeah. And Abyss was always one of those guys. There, man. Abyss was the guy that made you proud to be an Impact fan. One of them.
I agree, man. He exemplified not jumping ship when things got tough. And that goes for fans too. It's like, if Abyss ain't leaving, it's like we can believe in all. We can continue to believe in this too and support. And I feel like Abyss exemplified that as a locker room leader. And I think something you mentioned a second ago, like people put him in a box compared to the Taker or Mankind, but I think that was early on. I think Abyss has come into his own where he's his own category now. Earlier, before he was like as established as a legend, it's like you have to they use the comparison point, but now Abyss is his own island off to himself. So he's his own guy. And I feel like now Abyss has arrived, and hey, he's in the Hall of Fame, man.
And one thing you have to mention, it would be a disservice if we didn't mention it. Decay. We have to talk about Decay. One of the coolest trios, stables, factions, whatever you're going to call it. One of the coolest things that Impact Wrestling has ever done. And one of the coolest things I've ever seen in wrestling, man. And that was what you would say is, his later years when you think a guy like Abyss would be starting to, transition to the backstage. He totally reinvented himself once again, and he did the stuff with Decay. And I'll never forget that episode where he took the mask off and the "I am beautiful" thing. Come on, man, that was awesome.
Oh, he's so incredible. That Decay stuff, Joseph Park, the first run of Joseph Park, where he had to pretend like he was a guy who couldn't wrestle or didn't know what he was doing, and I mean, how hard it is just to fake that you don't know how to run the ropes.
What are some of your favorite Abyss memories throughout the years, Trent? If you could think, like some of your favorite Abyss moments, if you will.
Abyss and AJ Styles in the lockdown cage. There was
anything Abyss versus AJ. Nobody takes the Black Hole Slam like AJ does. No way.
Oh yeah. Abyss and Sabu's feud from like 05, really underrated. I was a big fan of that. I actually am one of the few people who love the feud with Judas Macias. I love that.
Even I was a little funky on that one, man.
I didn't mind it because I liked those two big behemoths just going at it.
No, but then you got like Black Rain in the picture and stuff. I don't know. I was a little funky on it.
I like Judas Macias, and I thought that was a good little. It was something. It was like the first big guy they brought in to really take on Abyss and push him to his limit.
I really loved the Abyss, like in Raven feud, and then how it like the Dr. Stevie stuff and like.
Oh yeah,
there was just so many layers to that storyline. It went in so many different directions, and it was cool, dude. That very underrated, man. I don't know why people seem to not talk about that stuff that much, but the Abyss and Raven feud in TNA, the stuff that they did, Dr. Stevie, Abyss, Daphne, McFoley, that whole thing, man, that was cool, dude. It had a cool, dark, gritty vibe to it. It was violent. It was bloody. It was refreshing. It was at a time when that sort of thing just wasn't going on anywhere else in the whole landscape of professional wrestling.
True, man. And then, of course, the Decay stuff is fantastic. One of my favorite Abyss moments, though, was I was there for it, Slammiversary last year when the return of James Mitchell. When they showed him, he was Joseph Park, and he was all beaten up and worn out. And you saw that camera shot of the shoes, the devilish shoes, walking up to him and inspired him to get up. And it was James Mitchell, his dad. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was
wild. That was wild. That's one of my favorite moments. I popped. You can see me if they cut to the audience at any point during that. You see me losing my mind. That was one of the best things ever.
Great career, dude.
Great career. We'll be celebrating him in New York, and let's put a bow on this one here and just let people enjoy. Go watch some old Abyss matches.
Yep. I don't think he's done either, Trent. I don't think this is a retirement. I know he's slowing down. He's doing more things backstage. You read about that a lot. He's working as an agent. I think he's just a multi-tool player backstage. Just he's the veteran. He's the veteran of the room, just like Kingston said in his tweet. Nobody eats before Abby.
Yeah, that's it. That's the rule. That's the hard rule, man. Nobody eats before Abby.
So McHale's Bar and Grill. That's 251 West 51st Street in New York, right down the block from Penn Station, right in Midtown Manhattan. $25 a ticket. You could get that. The tickets are running through Eventbrite.com. But just go to ImpactWrestling.com, and they have everything you need to order your ticket. And Trent, they really should put this on Twitch. I think this should be a Twitch thing.
I think it will be.
I think fans all around the world want to see this.
I think it will be. Leave it to Josh. I think it'll be on Twitch.
Excellent.
I think so.
Total
But
Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans. Tell them where they can follow us, Trent, before I stop recording.
all right, here we go, real quick. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at We Talk Impact. You can find us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio. Look for Total Nonstop Impact. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell a coworker, tell your mom. We don't care. Tell somebody. Listen to the show. And this has been Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans.